Thanks, Tony.
And that wraps up Channel 7 News at 5:30. Sally Fitz and Rick Chambers are next with Channel 7 News at 6.
They'll have much more on the developing baseball story, plus these stories.
Coming up next, he says he did it. 2 college students are murdered in Gainesville, and tonight police say they have a killer's confession. How risky is life on Florida college campuses? Are you safe when you go away to school? Charges of corruption at the Metro Justice Building. Is there abuse of power on the bench? And it's ticker tape for the troops. Channel 7 News at 6 is next.
You're watching South Florida's news station, WSVN 7. Pitts, Sanchez, Daniels, Lovett. This is Channel 7 News at 6.
Confessions from a carpet cleaner. Alan Robert Davis says he did it. He admits strangling 2 University of Florida students in their off-campus apartment.
Hello again, I'm Rick Chambers in for Rick Sanchez. A sense of relief of sorts has returned to Gainesville tonight.
Police say that they have the man who killed 2 students, but the question still troubling this college community is why. Why would anyone want 2 young women dead? We have Team 7 coverage beginning with Channel 7's Patrick Frazier, who joins us live from Gainesville. Patrick?
Well, Sally Davis claims being sprayed with mace was what provoked him to kill the 2 women. Now, police are skeptical. They're not sure that Davis is telling the entire story. Police did recover mace from inside the apartment, 2 cans of mace, but they're not certain yet whether or not the mace has been sprayed. Police are certain of one thing, though. They're telling students here on the University of Florida campus they have nabbed the killer. Quietly, peacefully, students return to class today. The people hired to protect them are still very wary, but most kids again feel the danger has passed.
Well, I guess because he's only on one side of town, I live way in the country, so I don't have any problem.
I live in a dormitory, and I feel that dormitories are fairly safe.
Why this man allegedly did what he did is becoming a little more clear. Alan Davis says he became angry when Eleanor Grace sprayed him with mace. But detectives aren't sure he's telling the truth.
He's made some statements to us that are right on the money and some that we question, to be honest with you.
And still uncertain if Grace did mace Davis, what was he doing to threaten her? Meantime, the picture emerging of Davis is of a poor, struggling carpet cleaner who lived in this rundown trailer in rural Alachua County. He moved here from Gainesville to have the space to grow a garden. Apparently, he hadn't started. Take a look at that trailer, then take a look at this trailer in a park where Davis used to live, and you can see why he's no longer here. He was asked to leave, the manager told me, because he kept the place in such a mess. But he wasn't missed much. Larry Quizen used to live across the street from Davis. They never spoke to each other.
I don't know anything about the guys that lived across the road.
You lived there and didn't even know?
No, that's right.
Yet being a quiet loner is not a crime. Davis's family says he was simply a peaceful, devoted father.
He's taking care of my 4 nieces and nephew and my son and my younger brother. I've never seen the guy even slightly angry.
Even police agree his background doesn't seem to indicate that one day Davis would allegedly explode in rage and choke 2 young women to death.
He seems to be a pretty average person, nothing out of the ordinary, certainly doesn't have a horrendous past leading up to this homicide.
And despite the discrepancies in Davis's confession, detectives are convinced he is the killer. We were told, quote, the evidence is overwhelming. Only one man could have committed these murders. That man is Alan Robert Davis. Now, remember, over the weekend, police told us that they didn't feel the double homicide was related to August slayings at this time. They've eliminated the 3 words "at this time." They say in no way, shape, or form did Alan Davis have anything to do with last August slayings. In Gainesville, Patrick Frazier, Channel 7 News.
All right, you know, the image of Gainesville as a sleepy little college town has forever been shattered by the shocking events of this past year. But that image may never have been accurate to begin with. Gainesville's violent crime rate rivals that of some other much larger Florida cities. Our Team 7 coverage continues now with Michael Williams, who reports that a lot of college-bound kids right now are wondering if the state's flagship university is right for them.
The picture of Gainesville for the past year has been one of a community sickened by its loss and scared for its collective security. At Miami-Dade Community College, that image is impossible to ignore as students, particularly co-eds, try to choose a university to attend.
And I was considering going, but not after these murders, no way. I'm scared to go there.
I am aware of what's going on. It is scary, but I don't think that that's any reason not to go to college. It's an event that's happening now. I mean, Tallahassee was terrorized by Ted Bundy.
Violent crime, murder, rape, aggravated assault, and robbery is something we tend to associate with big cities, not university towns. But look at this. 1989 FBI figures, the latest which were available, showed that roughly 1 out of every 88 people in Gainesville was a victim of violent crime. In Tallahassee, home to FSU, the figure was 1 in 79. Orlando, bigger than both of those cities, had a slightly lower violent crime rate, while in Dade County, 1 of every 45 residents was a violent crime victim in 1989.
I think Gainesville is more safe than perhaps Miami and any large city. The murder rate, for example, is about 1/3 what it is in Miami. Even counting 5 more victims for last year, the latest figures would still have Miami about twice the murder rate of Gainesville.
Quoting odds on safety, Wilbanks concedes, is little consolation for UF students, not when they're still waiting for a definitive word that police are ready to charge someone for those 5 murders last summer.
First they're told it's Humphrey, then they're told it's Rawling, then they're told it's both of them, and people are saying, if you really think it's these 2 guys, charge them. And if you're not charging them, why should we think that this case has been resolved?
In Miami, Michael Williams, Channel 7 News.
And there is still no firm timetable on exactly when evidence against Danny Rawling or Edward Humphrey may be presented to a grand jury.
There are many questions tonight about mace and other sprays like it. How effective are they in protecting people? There are several different kinds of chemical defense sprays out on the market, but major police agencies in Dade and Broward have not used them in almost a decade. They say sometimes they do more harm than good.
With a determined attacker, you have to weigh the advantages and the disadvantages. The disadvantage may be is that you may provoke something greater in the way of aggression and hostility from the attacker if the chemical agent doesn't work effectively.
Experts also say that if you buy a chemical defense spray, make sure you get trained on how to use it. The arrest in Gainesville is giving a glimmer of hope to the father of Tiffany Sessions. She vanished from the university city. The college student was last seen jogging near her off-campus apartment more than 2 years ago. She lived very close to the apartment where the 2 students were killed on Friday. Now, with the confessed killer, Alan Davis, in custody, Patrick Sessions has hope that Tiffany might be found.
And I think it's a long stretch, but crazier things have happened. Did this guy clean Tiffany's apartment 2 years ago and then come back? Who knows?
A Tiffany Sessions hotline has been set up in Gainesville, and it lit up on Friday when the killings happened. But investigators say they still have no solid leads.
In another prominent case, all of the media coverage of the Kennedy rape case could drive it straight out of town. Today, the judge in Palm Beach said that scenes like this one may make it impossible to seat an impartial jury for William Kennedy Smith. The judge is considering a motion to move that trial. She also met with attorneys for both sides today to work out the details of a gag order. And there is more trouble tonight for Senator Edward Kennedy. A campaign committee is filing a complaint with the Senate Ethics Committee, asking for an investigation into the senator's actions the night of that alleged rape. Sally?
A standoff between a robbery suspect and police sure stirred things up in a Hollywood neighborhood. Police surrounded the suspect's house. They say Robert Porter ran inside after robbing a furniture rental store in Pembroke Pines. The standoff lasted an hour. Neighbors were asked to get out of the area until it was all over. Finally, though, Porter surrendered. Workers at the store say that he robbed say he used to work there. He is charged with armed robbery. Police say that he didn't act alone, though. Another suspect was involved, but he got away. Tonight, police are searching for 2 killers who gunned down a man outside a Ramada Inn. It happened on Northwest 168th Street and 12th Avenue this morning. Cops say the man was shot several times as he tried to fight off 2 robbers. He died shortly after being airlifted to Jackson Memorial Hospital.
A drive-by shooting in Riviera Beach has left 1 man dead, 2 others injured. It happened in broad daylight yesterday afternoon. 3 men were driving in a car when another car pulled up alongside and opened fire. Police say the shooting may have been drug or even gang-related. The identity of the dead man has not been released at this hour. 1 injured man, though, still in critical condition. The other is okay. Police are still trying to find the gunman. And remnants of the truck that blew up in southwest Dade on Friday have now been shipped tonight to Atlanta for a forensic laboratory. The man driving the truck died in this blast. Investigators are hoping to find out if a bomb was actually planted in this utility truck. The explosion was so powerful it melted the truck tires and it burned the clothes right off the driver's body. The driver's identity still has not been released.
Well, now let's move on to a major sports story that's been developing for the past hour or so. It's time for South Florida to play ball. At least it looks that way. Sports director Jim Berry joins us with more. Jim?
Well, Sally, Wayne Huizenga is a cautiously happy man tonight. He's been told that Major League Baseball wants him in the fraternity. The National League has confirmed that Miami is one of its 2 recommended cities for expansion. The other is Denver. Huizenga, the prospective team owner, got the call this morning from League President Bill White.
Well, today is a very exciting day for South Florida. We received word from Bill White this afternoon that we are one of the 2 finalists. Got the approval of the National League Expansion Committee, and needless to say, we're very pleased and excited for everyone in South Florida, ourselves included.
And well, he should be. All of the owners still have to ratify the recommendation. Baseball Commissioner Fay Benson expects that to be a rubber stamp. It is unclear, however, when that will happen. Baseball owners meet beginning this Wednesday in Los Angeles. It could come as soon as then, although the early word we're hearing is that it may take as long as a month for final approval. But this certainly is very welcome news. It looks like Big League Baseball is coming here beginning in April of 1993. Back to you.
All right, Jim Berry, we'll keep our fingers crossed. South Florida baseball fans, as you might imagine, are celebrating right now, at least those who have heard the news. And with those fans is Channel 7's John Turchin. He joins us live now from Crocco's Sports Bar. That's up in Fort Lauderdale. Hello, John.
Well, actually, right now, Rick, I'm about to get in some of my swings. You know, I'm trying to see if I have any kind of a chance at all to make this team. Actually, I'm standing in the batting cage here at Crocco's Sports Lounge, which is in Fort Lauderdale, where a number of our fans actually in the area have been hanging out most of the day. And as you see, I'm just trying a little bit, seeing if I got any chance of making the team. We're going to get out of the cage here in just a moment. Whoops, well, I guess maybe I had to go back to reporting. And we're going to go out and try to talk to a couple of the fans in the area here and see what their reaction is. First, if I can, Bill, we talked a little bit a while ago. You seem to be pretty excited about it.
I think it's great for the area. I think it's great for South Florida. I mean, it's a long time coming. Since we do host most of the major league teams down here for spring training, I think it's just great for all the baseball fans down here.
Okay, great. Really Thanks a lot, Bill. Appreciate it. We also talked to Mike a little bit ago, and you gave me, I guess, a little bit of an idea that you're a Yankee fan. You've been up in the Bronx for a while.
Yankees. You know it.
You're getting psyched to see him come down here?
Oh, yeah. I miss baseball a lot. Want to see him down in Florida, live down here now. Even though it's a National League, I'll still go see him.
Okay, you know? Great. Thanks a lot. And I guess we're going to look at the business side of this whole thing if we can, Rick, too. And Ron is with me. Ron's with Crocco's. And if you can, explain a little bit of how this is going to benefit the area.
Well, I think it's going to help everybody from T-shirts to gas stations, to restaurants, motels, people coming in from out of state to watch the teams, their families. It's a bonanza for the area.
Does it help at all some of the lounges like this, the sports lounges, some of them that have been suffering in the area? Not yours, of course, so.
By most definitely. I think it's going to really help, not just the lounges, but even the regular restaurants, the fast food operations, so forth.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ron. And just one last thing. I'm showing my allegiance, too. I'm hoping that maybe I get a chance to put this on the back of my bike soon. Rick? But I am excited about a team coming out here. But as being a Dodger fan, you know.
Thanks. John Turchin reporting.
Coming up next, it's not exactly the catch of the day. Hundreds of dead fish float to the surface in South Florida.
Also tonight, charges of corruption at the Metro Justice Building.
Plus, the mother of all parades marches through the Big Apple. We'll be right back.
You're watching Channel 7 News at 6 with Sally Fitz and Rick Sanchez.
Channel 7 News, brought to you in part by Chase Manhattan Bank. Chase, profit from the experience.
Life doesn't stop when the sun goes down, which is why with a Chase Manhattan credit card, you can call us to request a change in your credit limit or get information about your balance. Anytime, day or night. We're flexible because after nearly 200 years, we've learned never to leave our customers in the dark. Chase, profit from the experience.
Yes, the gentleman over there.
Coach, is it true none of your football teams ever won a national championship until you started driving a Williamson Cadillac?
Yes, I'd say that's true.
Wouldn't you call that a remarkable coincidence?
No, I'd call that a remarkable car.
Williamson Cadillac, Dadeland and Homestead. No one sells Cadillacs for less, not ever.
The test of your dishwashing liquid isn't dishes, it's those last greasy pots and pans.
Don't quit on me now.
Conking out. By the time you get to the really tough grease, most leading brands just can't cut it. But there's one that can. New Dawn. Improved, definitely. Look, the suds actually come back. A signal that New Dawn still has the power to cut the toughest grease. New Dawn. We cut it when they can't.
The news. This Florida, USA is Rosa Neverland.
Young ladies between the ages of 18 to 27 are eligible for this year's Miss Florida USA pageant and earn the right to compete in the nationally televised Miss USA pageant. Call 1-800-BEAUTIES for details on entering this year's Miss Florida USA pageant. Live August 3rd at 7 o'clock on WSVN.
Some folks in Coconut Creek are living with a smelly problem tonight. Hundreds of dead fish have washed up to the banks of a canal behind their apartment complex. Authorities believe that the heavy rain reduced the oxygen in the water, in effect drowning all of these fish. And the rain, it just keeps on coming all over South Florida. Almost 5 inches of rain was recorded in Fort Lauderdale over the weekend, flooded the streets, clogged the traffic as usual. Experts say that the standing water will send us more mosquitoes as well, even though the trucks and the planes are out every day spraying. But we do have some good news for you tonight. For the first time in almost 3 years, the water level up in Lake Okeechobee isn't just back to normal, it's above normal for a change.
All that rain may have washed up a needle scare for a boy in Hialeah. He was walking to North Hialeah Elementary this morning when he stepped on a hypodermic needle. The principal says the boy was walking in a drainage area, and it's possible the needle just washed in. The needle is being tested for AIDS and other possible diseases. Well, 4 of the people who sit in judgment on us may soon be facing their own judgment day. South Florida's legal community is buzzing tonight as 4 local judges wait to find out what's going to happen next in a joint state and federal probe of possible corruption. As Channel 7 senior reporter Mark Ledner reports, the 4 are on administrative leave tonight.
The court will particularly note that Mr. Pino...
A new judge on the block was dispensing justice in Al Seppi's courtroom today. Maxine Cohen-Lando was on the bench, plowing through Judge Seppi's long calendar of cases because Judge Seppi himself had been benched. He, along with Judges Roy Gelber, Philip Davis, and Harvey Schenberg, all are benched off the job with pay. Over the weekend, federal and state agents raided the judges' offices and homes looking for evidence of corruption. It's the biggest judicial scandal at the Metro Justice Building in nearly 2 decades.
There's lots of talk in this building today, but practically all of it is off the record. You prowl the halls of justice. You talk to judges, bailiffs, lawyers, and the answer is always the same. Me on camera? No way. I got to get along with everybody here.
Off the record, everyone's asking, who's next to be named in the scandal? This is just the tip of the iceberg, people are saying. There's talk the feds have it all on wiretaps, and that marked money was found in the raids.
It's very unsettling.
This lawyer says the Justice Building has become a house of rumors.
Rumors start on one floor and work their way up, and by the time you come back down to the first floor, they've expanded to 20 more judges. So it's hard to say. Anything's possible, and it's all up for grabs. I hope none of it's true.
I think something like this should enhance public confidence in the way our system works.
This young lawyer says we should be grateful our justice system does not shrink from investigating judges. Most local judges, by the way, were off at a judicial seminar today. In terms of cases, it was a relatively light day at the Justice Building. In terms of rumors, the action is hot and heavy as storm clouds of scandal start gathering. Mark Lundner, Channel 7 News.
Now, we have been unable to get comment from those 4 judges being investigated or from former Circuit Judge David Goodhart, who is also under investigation. The U.S. Attorney's Office says that undercover agents paid money for judges to reduce bonds and make other favorable rulings.
In other news tonight, 22 more Cubans have made that float to freedom. 4 of them were rescued in the Keys yesterday. 18 more, though, were spotted today in a sinking boat off Key West. Now, among them is a 75-year-old woman and 4 children. All of this pushes the number of Cubans rescued just in June alone to 129. The total to make it here this year is now almost 1,000, 955 right now. That, though, is more than double the whole total of all of last year. 467 made the float to freedom in 1990.
Coming up next, a salute to the troops, New York style.
And a former soldier taken prisoner during the Gulf War has an about-face in attitude.
And how would you pass the time in outer space? You hit the deck of cards, that is.
Honey, babysitter's here.
You let her into your home.
Welcome.
You trust her with your child.
I'll treat her like she's my very own.
But once you're gone, who knows what goes on?
What are you, nuts? You don't scare me.
She's every mother's worst nightmare.
My perfect little girl. I'll never let you go. Not ever.
The Sitter.
Tonight on the WSVN 7 movie at 8.
I didn't think it was possible that once-a-year treatment would work, but it does.
Technician went into every room of the house.
They took the switch plates off.
They went in the attic?
They go underneath your stove.
These people are talking about the effectiveness of SEARS once-a-year pest control.
When that company says that they guarantee, they're for real.
I trust SEARS.
My problem was solved.
Once a year is convenient.
SEARS once-a-year pest control. It works.
No bugs.
When friends don't stop friends from drinking and driving, friends die. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Hi, I'm Eddie Arcaro. Every once in a while, someone exciting becomes a successful entrepreneur. I'm talking about a most remarkable lady, Christine Lee. Those who know Christine, I'm sure, will agree. She operates Christine Lee's world-famous gaslight restaurant at the Thunderbird Hotel. Prime hand-picked steaks, live jumbo Maine lobsters, plus gourmet Chinese cuisine makes this a restaurant worth visiting. That's my tip for the season.
On the next Golden Girls, an older man falls for Blanche's charms.
He's dipped his toes in the lake known as Blanche.
But the waters get rough when she finds him with another woman.
What is it? Is she younger, more attractive, more desirable? We got 2 out of 3, Blanche.
And jealousy turns to rage.
How could he possibly confuse this young, nubile body with that raisin in sneakers?
All's fair in love and war on the next Golden Girls.
Tonight at 7 on WSVN 7.
Thousands of soldiers marched through a blizzard today, a paper blizzard in Manhattan. It was part of a mammoth ticker tape parade to honor those who served in the Gulf War. At the head of the parade, Defense Secretary Dick Cheney, Generals Norman Schwarzkopf and Colin Powell. Behind them, 24,000 marchers, half of them Desert Storm veterans, and falling all around them, literally tons of paper. Not all of the nearly 2 million people that lined the parade route were celebrating. Hundreds of them were carrying protest signs and screaming anti-war slogans. Some even threatened to throw flaming yellow ribbons, but none of them actually did it.
Here in South Florida, we're going to have our own Welcome Home celebration. Our salute to the Desert Storm troops is going to be a Flag Day celebration on Friday. Now, the parade is scheduled to kick off right about 4 o'clock at the corner of West Flagler Street and Northwest 1st Avenue. And then it's going to go east on Flagler Street over to Biscayne Boulevard. Then we'll hang a turn and go north on Biscayne, and we'll end up over at Northeast 3rd Street. And we're told that celebrations are going to go on all night over at Bayfront Park. A man that many Americans have hailed as a Desert Storm hero is speaking out tonight against the Gulf War. Former POW Navy Lieutenant Jeffrey Zahn says that he never wants to kill anybody ever again. He told a Nevada newspaper that the American people only hear that the Gulf War was a big victory, but he says they didn't have to see all of the Iraqi mothers getting killed.
Another busy day for the crew aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia. The astronauts are nearing the end of a 9-day mission to study how people handle weightlessness. But even astronauts sometimes need a break. They've asked Mission Control to ease up on their workload a bit so they can spend some time just enjoying space. And the fun has already begun. Astronaut James Bagan performed what may be the first card trick in space.
And coming up next, a sea turtle finds its way back home with a little help from its friends.
After 6 centuries of silence, a volcano rumbles back to life and thousands run for their lives. The story in our next half hour.
And it was supposed to be a day of fun, but an amusement park outing ends in disaster.
7:30 tonight. This show could be in your home, and it's rated X.
Take off that inhibiting clothing.
Tonight at 7:30.
This little girl comes up to me and says, "Mrs. Westerhoff, are you fat or are you pregnant?" And I was crushed. It's hard for a teacher to admit, I need help. I don't understand. I don't know what to do. Jenny Craig taught me how to be in control of my eating habits. One thing I like to say to other overweight people, do it and do it for yourself.
Lose all you want with our summer special. Just a $79 service fee. Call Jenny Craig.
They were friends with so much in common. Little did they know how close they would become.
Somehow Holly just meant Sandy. She's in the kitchen right now.
Mary Tyler Moore.
I didn't know you when I met him.
It's all right, as long as you don't know the wife.
Why didn't you tell me you were happily married?
Ted Danson.
I never said I was unhappily married.
Sam Waterston.
I mean, you're not the kind of guy who does this kind of thing.
And Christine Lottie.
I'm pregnant.
Just between friends.
Tuesday on the WSVN 7 Movie at 8.
Mr. Wilkins, how did you get your hands on this vital government information?
I just wrote to Free Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009.
Did you say free?
When they ask what you paid for the Consumer Information Catalog and sample booklets, tell them nothing.
Absolutely free.
Case dismissed.
Live from the Channel 7 Weather Center, Bob Soper.
Right now over South Florida, temperatures about 80 degrees. Winds are out of the northeast at 22 miles per hour, slightly higher on the beaches, but not by much. The barometer is 30.03 and falling. Relative humidity is 79%. Take a look across that radar picture. It was booming earlier today, and now watch. It just disappeared on us. Lots of rain earlier, and now we're starting to dry out. It looks like that's the way it'll be throughout the night. Just a few scattered showers around left in Dade County and over offshore. Some of that moving onshore from the Atlantic, but it's all settling down now. 82 to 84 from the Panhandle today, 89 for Tallahassee, 86 at Orlando, 88 over at Tampa, 90 degrees at Fort Myers. Cool this afternoon, 78 degrees down in Homestead, 86 degrees for Fort Lauderdale, 85 up at West Palm Beach. Temperatures tonight will range in the 60s to the low 70s in all of the northern two-thirds of the state. Clear skies, generally speaking, in most of North Florida. Just a few clouds up around the northern peninsula. A few scattered showers for us overnight. Really the best chance now, after the thunderstorms and so on abate, we should see showers along the coastline in the morning and then over on the western half of the peninsula in the afternoon. Temperatures will rise up from the upper 80s to the low 90s throughout the entire state. Our best chance of rain is the only one in the state. Now, temperatures today, this afternoon, 89 degrees at Boston, 88 at New York City, 94 at Philadelphia. Don't know if that's a record. It's going to be close. 90 degrees at Washington, D.C., 85 at Roanoke, 85 as well at Detroit, 84 Lexington, Kentucky. Looking around the nation, we got another frontal system coming into the northwest. Nothing new about that. But the old frontal system that's still in the middle of the nation is still piling it on. We've got our high pressure ridge that is circulating and trying to remove this frontal system here, but it's circulating moisture right up into the middle of the nation. And that means more trouble for Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas. Heavy thunderstorms right now over western Kansas and Oklahoma, and starting to develop out around Colorado. Yesterday in Nebraska at Minutair, they had a tornado that ripped out 5 homes, destroyed them totally, and damaged 30 other homes. And at least one woman was injured. We don't know the seriousness of that, but we don't think that it would have been too bad. But look at all this damage from that tornado yesterday afternoon at Minutair, Nebraska. Now, across the nation, it looks like we're going to be stuck with more scattered thunderstorms over much of the east, except the southeast, and then a little break in the action for Nebraska. That's good news. Here's a look at our local forecast for you. For tonight, mostly cloudy. The rain's tapering off. Overnight lows 71 to 76. Then tomorrow, variably sunny with widely scattered showers. High temperature is 86 to 89. Boating weather, winds east at 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet. Bay waters a moderate chop. The next High tide at 7:27 tonight, the low tide at 1:34 in the morning, sunrise at 6:29, sunset at 8:12. So if you've been waiting for a chance to dry out, Sally and Rick, it's time.
All right, thanks, Bob. A sea turtle is back where she belongs tonight, thanks to some caring humans. She spent the past couple of weeks recovering at Ocean World in Fort Lauderdale. The turtle was injured after getting caught in a fishing line. Fort Lauderdale Mayor Jim Noggle, who's working on a plan to save baby sea turtles from being run over on A1A, helped in today's release.
That's good news. And that wraps up Channel 7 News at 6 o'clock.
But coming up next, let's play ball. It looks like South Florida scores a big league team.
And it was supposed to be the ride of their lives, but they ended up losing their lives at an amusement park.
Another carnival ride runs out of control, trapping passengers.
And it's awake for the first time in 600 years, and boy, did it wake up grumpy.
And just another critter catting around, but it sent a wave of fear through an entire neighborhood.
Joan Lovett, Charles Molyneux with these stories and much more next on Channel 7 News at 6:30.
If life is but a stage, then you as a parent worry about your kid's performance, about the act he hasn't quite gotten together, the cast of characters he plays with. Some kids are like actors, trying out different roles in life. But when he starts doing scenes like this, it's not just the stage your kid is going through. Charter Hospital of Miami. Call us today. Call us now. 1-800-235-3230. We're helping kids while they're still kids.
The Corlick sisters and Bobby Bonilla on Denny's new Grand Slam menu.
There's that baseball star they named this great kebab slam after. Who? Kebab Bonilla. The name's from the shrimp kebab. Kebab's no shrimp. I mean the 6 shrimp on the kebab that came with the chicken. Kebab came with his wife. I'm not talking about Kebab Bonilla. Then stop repeating his name so the man can eat at Lenny's.
Denny's.
Denny's.
Try the Kebab Slam dinner, one of Denny's incredible, irresistible new Grand Slams. Suddenly, it's a whole new ballgame.
A dress shirt from one of America's leading makers at department stores. Now at Ross. The only difference is the price.
You're watching South Florida's news station, WSVN 7. This is Channel 7 News at 6:30.